Welcome आप लोगों को विशेष. So Sister Kala is with Baba for more than 30 years, 35, 40 years, I think, right, Sister Kala? 40 years, more than 40 years, more than 45 years. Oh God, I'm too behind. Sister Kala has been serving the Yagya and especially Peace Village for over 26, 27 years now. And she has this beautiful quality about herself, which is always giving motherly love. You know, she's always sustaining, she's always present for you, she's always very welcoming, her heart is very big. And she's like a perfect example of what Baba is making us. Sister Kala is a pediatrician by profession, and she has worked in New York for some time, but her heart was always with serving at the unlimited way, you know, to the unlimited world. And that's where she finally decided to land here. And yeah, so we will listen from Sister Kala. Thank you for being with us this morning. Om Shanti.
योगी पवित्र जीवन कितना सुखद सलोना. योगी पवित्र जीवन कितना सुखद सलोना. सींचा है ज्ञान अमृत से अंतर का कोना कोना. योगी पवित्र जीवन कितना सुखद सलोना. सींचा है ज्ञान अमृत से अंतर का कोना कोना. जब से लगन लगी है परिचय मिला तुम्हारा. होकर मगन मन कहता बाबा तू ही हमारा. जब से लगन लगी है परिचय मिला तुम्हारा. होकर मगन मन कहता बाबा तू ही हमारा. प्रभु से महामिलन का मन में सदा है होना. सींचा है ज्ञान अमृत से अंतर का कोना कोना.
Hindi, English, English, English. अच्छा, हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन.
चैनल 1 पे है. इफ योर डिवाइसेस, आपके पास में डिवाइस है हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन के लिए, तो चैनल 1 पे है.
ओम शांति सभी को. It's very beautiful for me to see this hall filled like this with both the sides equal, which is what Vishnu stands for, right? With absolute symmetry and equality and beauty. For me, these are the symbolic representations for Vishnu. Of course, it's a beautiful image. It's a beautiful, no translation. But it's beautiful also because it's very balanced, symmetrical, equal on both sides. Imagine this hall being very, very beautifully decorated on one side, and the other side totally not good, or nothing is done to it. You will start thinking about it, right? Can I? Or you will be okay with it. You will kind of look both sides and say, what happened this side? What happened this side? And in a way, this is the kind of world that Baba is creating, where it is absolutely together as one whole world family, and yet with our differences and our uniqueness, our capacities, our powers, our understanding, and all of that. But I just meant to say that it warms my heart always to see couples like this, big groups of couples in Peace Village, family together in Peace Village. So warm, warm, warm welcome, because you are like this beautiful decoration for this hall that nobody else, nothing else could ever placed you. Because not only are you in families together, but you are also embodying what makes that family into a beautiful family, and that is your purity. So special welcome because of your acceptance of purity from Baba as the principle, main principle of your life. Would you say that is true for everyone? Have you accepted principle of purity in your life? Like when there is a marriage, you accept something between the two of you, right? There are some principles there based on which your whole life kind of runs. So you coming to Baba, each one of you individually, I think also is the same. Each one belongs to Baba and gets bound to him with the principle of purity, with this bond of purity. And when that happens, then another beautiful bond happens between the two who are living together as family. And that bond is also of purity, but with many, many beautiful manifestations of purity. Right? And today I think we are talking about what does that look like? That wonderful combined form that Baba talks about. He even talked about it this morning, Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar. Right? For Brahma, of course, he said very specifically that creation has to happen here, right, in this world. What do you think for Vishnu? Does Vishnu have to be here? Or does Vishnu have to be in the subtle region, somewhere up there? It's just a concept. It's not real. And or else you will say, okay, even at the most, they will be real in golden age. But what about here? This is not real. How many of you think is Vishnu form is very real for now here at this time for us? Along with being, of course, Brahma's form, Prajapita Brahma's form, Vishnu form, is it real for us? Yeah? Very good. For everybody? Everyone, whether you are living in a family together, living alone, living as someone living in a center like this, but I think it's the future image that Baba has given for all of us. So it couldn't be just for people in family, right? You're right about that. But it's a lovely, lovely concept of coming together, of course, with very different features, very different build, very different characteristics. Just imagine in this world, you know, two coming together in perfect harmony and perfectly working beautifully together. What does that really, really mean for us? It's not just about the one and the one coming together, but it's about this one and Baba coming together so that I can be always in that combined form with God. And therefore, whatever is needed in any other relationship in this level, what I am able to do, I will do. But if I'm not able to do something, then Baba is there. He always says, right? We are combined, we are combined, we are combined. So who are combined? Soul and Baba are combined. So that's the combined form that we really want to talk about. And that, of course, manifests as many, many different things. As two people coming together, being able to, work harmoniously, live together as family in a pure setting, inspire others to also become like that. So many things can follow just because of that combined form that I as a soul can have with Baba. Now you all are actually doing it practically, right? So I'm sure, you have found a lot more depth into what it actually means to be that combined form in spite of being two different people. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen with everyone, but all of us are practically now finding out what does it really mean, this Vishnu form, Of course, it's a magnificent image up here. The first and foremost thing that we know about Vishnu is that it's Lakshmi and Narayan coming together. Sri Lakshmi, Sri Narayan coming together in the golden age. Baba says, this is how sustenance will happen in the form of this combined form of Vishnu. They're not going to walk around with 4 arms, right? But they're still going to have 2 arms and 2 legs each. Baba specifically says that also in the Murli. But in spite of that, they will appear as one. Now, when and how can that happen? Is it possible that it can happen here? That we prepare for that here, that which is our final form? Can we be in that form from here onwards? Because everything that happens in the future starts from now, isn't it? So how do we know that we are getting closer and closer to that form? Of course, who it will be, what it will be, we don't know. We are not talking about details of who and how our life will be, our rebirth in golden age will be. But just in terms of the quality of our life, quality of our relationship, quality of everything around us, quality of our, even our body, for example. How would that be? What are the things that have to come together to be equal? And I was thinking about this, that, today we live in a totally opposite of Vishnu form, if you will. If there is Vishnu form and some, another form that were to be created, that form would mean totally looking the two different ways, right? Here, both coming together and appearing as one. And the contrast of that would be two people, for example, and they, of course, are two, but instead of coming together, they're going two different ways, right? They're looking at two different things. They're thinking in two different ways. And that happens all the time, not just between, couples I'm talking about now, in general, relationships today. There is so much of what we call, not even conflict, but polarity. One goes towards this, one goes towards this. Of course, we can have different interests and we can have different ways of doing things. But to completely feel that we are different and to move in two different directions without aligning at any level with each other, And we see that all the time, even on little things, I think so, you think so, right? Your thoughts are different, my ideas are different, your ideas are different. So little by little, what happened? In the beginning, it seems like it's nothing. It's just a small thing. That this one has this interest, I have this interest, and we should all have our interest. But little by little, it takes us away from the truth of each other, the essence of each other, the soul that we are. And as souls, we're all same. We're one and the same. We are children of God. And it takes us away from that true relationship of purity or love or, understanding for each other. Because that other thing that is different about us becomes a priority. So we prioritize, this one is like this, or this one is like that, or. So I feel that what is most important now at this time, in spite of being different, is how do we connect with each other? How do we look at each other? How do we feel about each other? And, how do we treat each other, in other words? And the thing that comes to mind, of course, is respect. Has to be at the bottom of that relationship, right? And this is the kind of foundation that Baba is laying down at this time. How do we all, no matter, it's not about one person, 2-person, 3-person that I have to connect so deeply with, but with everyone, how can I connect in a way that there is no duality, there is this oneness, that we look like both children of God, but doing different things, different times. So I was really thinking about, especially in the state of the world, and even, I would say, even Brahmin family, that it kind of infiltrates into the family too sometimes. Parties, two ways of thinking, two groups, or to this or to that, or even two centers for that matter, for example. But we're all one. We belong to one. Right? With our own uniqueness, with our differences, everything concerned, but we still have so much respect for each other. That's the community that Baba is asking us to create. And that respect really comes from that original stage of I am a pure soul. The self-respect that I give to myself. When I say that, when I experience that, and from that place of experience and stage, I'm able to look another person in the eye and say, wait a minute, yeah, we think differently, but I respect you for that. I really respect you for bringing this another way of looking at things or thinking about things. So for me, at least, when I say Vishnu, for the two to come together, what forms the basis of that is really this very, very basic, mutual, spiritual respect. And just imagine you know, in the world outside, what the values are. The values are about differences and groups and doing different things and all of that. And here we're always saying, come together. Let's come together. And even the beauty of this gathering, for example, you see that, Peace Village also is kind of little bit limited compared to the unlimited group, right?
नित याद करो मन से शिव को नित याद करो मन से शिव को नित याद करो मन से शिव को नित याद करो मन से शिव को
So I was just thinking, how do we create this relationship of mutual, of course, self-respect, but also respect for each other. And of course, it comes from our relationship with Baba, Shiv Baba, by being combined with him all the time, of course. But what it does to the soul, I feel, is when we are able to keep him with us all the time, is that it's easy for us to feel our complete stage. Because I can do only a little bit. But if I'm combined with Baba and I can feel his virtues, his way of doing things, his understanding, then I'm actually accessing that. And I'm making myself complete with that, right? So being combined with Baba actually is making me complete. And when I'm complete, it's very easy for me to extend my hand and say, let me do this, let me do that, let me do this. You're not good at that, but I can do this. Or I am not good at this, then you can do that. It's very easy then to complement each other in a relationship when we are complete. Do you feel so? But when we are not totally complete or confident or, really trust ourselves for who we are, then we stay back or we hesitate or we think, we don't develop that relationship of trust with each other. So I feel that this combined form with Baba really works like magic in making the self complete with everything that the soul needs at any given moment. And when I'm able to do that, then I can also be with someone and doing things with someone or living with someone and complement each other. Sometimes you say a compliment really means that I don't have something somebody has to give me. No. I could be complete and someone could still be enhancing what I do, right? Do you feel that? Or someone else could be complete and I could be just adding a little, enhancement to whatever that person is already doing. It's not about a weakness or a vice or, something like that, but we are both complete and we both complement each other. So I feel perhaps Lakshmi and Narayan image or the Vishnu image is really about that. They're both complete, but they're complementing each other. Do they lack anything? I don't think so. Right? So here also, when we are interacting with each other, this is how we create our self-stage, being with Baba, and yet understanding it, completing or meaning making full effort on myself, but at the same time also being sensitive to the other person's presence, the other person's needs, or whatever the situation needs. It may not even be a personal need. It may be a situation where there are two people needed instead of one person. But if I stay away and say, you do it because you think, I think you think you can do it. No, it's okay. Two people can also do what one person can do completely, and it will become even better than what it was before. So it's that kind of internal attitude, I think, of respecting, complimenting, enhancing each other's personality and characteristics in a beautiful way. Of course, you have the perfect setting because you are now in a family, you're actually dealing with lives, little children, your creation. You're not just talking about fixing something on the wall, doing something here, there, but you're actually doing the work of raising children, many of you. And that's a very auspicious task. That's a very sacred task. And in that too, you need God's hand directly, because we as human beings can only do so much. Even though you may be two, but as one person is still limited. But being together and taking responsibility together and enhancing each other's way of doing things, sustenance, giving sustenance, for example, or doing what is necessary, for example, in your families, I think that's a great asset. I find that whenever people from family, Baba's families, you girls, couples come, mothers especially, of course also fathers, whenever they come here in Peace Village, we all relax because they take on so much, They give such a big hand to whatever little need. For us, it may seem like a big thing, and for them, it's like a little thing. So like that, when we are one, when we are alone, when we are few, it can be a big thing. But this aspect of complementing and, being part of the whole, I think, is such a beautiful way to raise, your children or your creation together. I feel it's a very, very fortunate role. And I also was thinking that of course, in so many areas of our life, we need that kind of outlook For example, sometimes we talk about any virtue, for example, I feel. Somebody may be very, very good in something, one particular virtue, but any virtue, if it is overextended or if it is used not in balance of something else that's needed at the time, I still wouldn't call it as complete with all virtues. Virtue is something that you have it, you know when to use it, and also when to not use it in such a strong way, because now it's time for some other virtue to play out, for example. So like that, to be able to balance the speciality and virtue of each other at the right time, I think it's such a beautiful drama and play that you're all involved in. And so complete with all virtues is what Lakshmi and Narayana are all about. And that's how they come together in such perfect harmony. If they're not complete with all virtues, then something will be missing from somewhere, right? And that, of course, brings us to our ornaments, beautiful ornaments in, Vishnu's arms. Everybody knows what the Swadarshana Chakra is, right? How do I train my mind to think? Do I always use the cycle of knowledge, the cycle of understanding of knowledge in thinking? Do I always go in the right direction, or do I sometimes go in the wrong direction? Sometimes Baba says that, right? So you do spin the cycle, but you spin it the other way around. So you have to spin it in the forward way. Now, this is the time for us to move to our purest state. Even when I have made a mistake, even when something has gone wrong, there is a next time. Not to lose hope, to keep up my enthusiasm for my efforts. That's what it means to spin the cycle, because I'm going forward, right? From this confluence age, I can only move upward, I can't move backward. So spinning the cycle means very, very positive thoughts for the self, for others, for your children, no matter how they are, what they are, always keeping the highest vision for them, thinking for them, no matter what the behavior, what the result you see of your treatment. And of course, the conch shell, also has a very lovely significance. How do I use my words? Because it's a very auspicious power that I have, the power of my words. So do I always use it in an auspicious way? And the conch shell, inside of the conch shell, there is air, right? And when you have to blow the conch shell, you have to move the air, but before that, it's still. So I was just thinking that even to make your words powerful, or what do you call, in order to create the right kind of result, you have to use them very carefully and sparingly, because when you say a lot of things, then the lot of things don't have as much significance as when you say few things, but they are true things, right? Then people will listen to that more. They will stop to listen. So it's also important to balance silence with our words, our attitude of benevolence with our words. So our mental capacity or good wishes with our words. So that's our conch shell. Then we have the big maze where we have to really show to the world the power of our pure actions. And I feel that for you, you have the special, special gift of having this pure life, which by itself is pure action. You don't have to do anything special. You just have adopted purity as the normal of your life, as the value of your life, as the principle of your life. And that's totally in contrast to everybody else. So they will automatically look at you. without you having to go out and do anything. Right? That's such a powerful action. Just to live a pure life together. And Baba always says, you are my showpieces. You are the ones that I can show to the world. So you're already in that category of those doing the best of actions in normal day life. How you get up, how you eat, how you food, cook your food, how you feed your children, how you go to sleep. In every activity, there is this pure intent of connecting to Baba and nothing else. So it's a very, very powerful way of lifestyle, so to speak, even without counting one, I did this service, I didn't do this service, it doesn't matter. But if you have committed to your purity, your pure relationship, I think you have done 80% of service that you can probably do in this life as Brahmin. Isn't it? That's why you're so important, so valuable. That's why we have retreats for you, especially. Right? So that's the mace there, purity of your actions, purity of your intent. And of course, the lotus flower is your symbol of how that infiltrates into all the relationships. Even though purity is your personal principle, but it shows up in every relationship. It's not that you don't care, it's not that you don't love, but you don't take sorrow, you don't give sorrow in that relationship, right? So very beautiful symbol of being detached and yet having very loving relationships, meaningful relationships, down-to-earth relationships in the family. You're there for each other, right? And that's the other thing about, when you come to our centers and our retreat centers, as soon as you come, we feel, oh, there's somebody here for us. So that kind of loving care, but without any expectations from each other, purely taking from Baba and sharing with others. So I feel you have a lot going. And of course, we all do. But especially, I think, as those living in pure families or grahastha ashram, as Baba would say it. And one more thing I would add to the 4 symbols is how you create your atmosphere in your home. Anybody can walk into the family of a couple BK and they would instantly be surprised and they would want to know what's happening here, right? It's a very unusual experience for a person to walk into a home of a totally dedicated BK couple and feel the purity in the room, in the floor, in the anything that you have put up on pictures on the wall, whatever you may be doing, the smell that they get, perhaps, when they enter a house. There's no smell of like pure, it's all pure food anyway, cooking. But there's no impurity at all that they can feel from anywhere. And this is what I feel, that even chairs can speak, sofas can speak, walls can speak. That's how much, your purity contributes to the creation of the pure world, isn't it? So having heard all of that, and of course going back to your title of the retreat too, right? Simple and easy and happy life. So I really congratulate all of you for, of course, for your Brahmin life, but also for coming for this retreat, and really taking on this challenge of how do we make our life simple, easy, and also full of happiness that has this natural attraction, spiritual attraction, Baba was saying today. where there is spiritual attraction, then everybody's gravitating to you no matter what. So I think we are all here to really complement each other and really see the beauty of each one, value of each one. Give a little, take a little. You know, sometimes you may have to, you know, balance out a little, you know, in terms of, we always talk about transforming, you know, other soul. Sometimes it's not so much transforming other souls. Sometimes it's just a matter of, you know, giving more opportunity to the other soul. Right? You know, maybe they need a little different kind of encouragement. Maybe there is something that can, you know, help them to take that next step forward. So to be deeply understanding and sensitive to, you know, the sanskars of each one, but in a positive way. That we are here for the growth of both of us, all of us, family together, towards Baba and Baba's goal of New World. Okay? So, congratulations, welcome, and we'll have more. I think we have some interesting things coming up. Any quick comments? Somebody has a hand up. You want that?
Om Shanti. Thank you, Kalavet. That was very beautiful. You did mention that each virtue has to be used in balance, like you cannot overuse a virtue. Can you clarify that a little bit?
Yeah. So, say, for example, you know, someone has the virtue of, you know, what do you call that? Say, for example, it's just determination. We are talking about somebody has, you know, this habit and sanskar, good habit, good virtue of being very determined to get somewhere, to do something, whatever. And it's a very good thing. And they have to, and again, you're living in a family that is, you know, that may have different interest on whatever. And there may be someone, you know, who is very also, you know, willing to kind of go this path or is explore this path, for example. You know, they're kind of trying out different things. But sometimes one strong virtue, I'm just thinking of determination as a example, it could be something else. Or it could be accuracy, for example. But this person that really wants everything right now, you know, to be, I'm determined to do it this time. I'm determined to kind of make it this way. I'm determined that we should go to this retreat, for example, you know, both of us. So if the other soul is not ready, for example, you just need to be a little more patient, a little more sensitive to what that soul really needs. Maybe they're looking for something else, right? So I'm just thinking of the balance of virtues in that context of being more soul conscious and sensitive to the moment and to the souls that is in question. That you get a good feeling from the moment when you're soul conscious what you should do. But sometimes we miss that moment and we say, you know, I'm very determined to do this. I'm very determined to bring my family here. I'm very determined to give them the course or whatever it may be. But there may just need to be a little more of understanding, of patience, of a little more detachment maybe or whatever. So it needs to be put in the context of other virtues too, I feel. So it's not always one virtue that can play the main role and get the hero title, in other words. So that's what I meant, that's what it takes to be all virtuous, to be able to combine and, use all the virtues in the right way at the right moment. So that's where we give a little, we take a little, because we are working with people, other people who are not the same as me. They are on a journey, I am on a journey. Of course, we've come together to meet and be on a journey to help each other, to how do we complement. So some sensitivity has to be there, and that doesn't have to come from a lot of questioning and, analyzing and all of that, but just a soul conscious moment, I think, will put you in the right set of virtues to use. I think. Yes.
Thank you so much, Kalaban. Really enjoyed this session. I was uh, thinking ahead that what is it that you're going to share, and it was just very wonderful. I've been actually reflecting on, the Vishnu form for a while, because we just recently had Mother's Day, then we had Father's Day, and my thinking was that, and you kind of touched on it too, that how what we do now at this present time is what will set up the future Vishnu form. And I was thinking in context of, in this birth I'm a father, and then so in a male body, but the soul can be a female in the next birth. I don't know what I'll be in Satyug. So I was thinking that really also what Vishnu represents for me is that I have to have that perfect balance within myself, qualities of the father and mother: softness, gentleness, kindness, protection, sustenance. All those things have to be there, because even with the 4 ornaments that Vishnu has, that even if one is missing, that balance is not there. So I was thinking that really that would be an exercise for each one of us to make sure that I don't compartmentalize myself and say, oh, I'm the father, so these are the only things that I should be doing. But I also add warmth, love, gentleness. Those are all quality, because sometimes the dads are put in a position where they're like, well, you just need to be the one who's the disciplinarian in the family, or
Yeah, we see lots of, permutation, combination of parents, how they are. Sometimes it's just the opposite, actually. And right, it's good that Baba takes us beyond the the masculine and the feminine roles, and he says you're a soul with virtues. So use the virtue that you feel is most appropriate and you have to offer. I think it's so true that even, never mind mother, father, but even with brothers and sisters, sometimes it happens. Oh, brothers. Of course, there are certain things that we will definitely call on brothers because of whatever strength or whatever. But, all souls are very equipped in many things. And so it is time to find, whatever it is that Baba can use me for, to be available for that.
Thank you, Sister Kala. That was indeed beautiful, because I also especially loved that, you talked about harmony in relationships and finishing that polarity or duality and really bringing that 100% balanced state. And so I feel they are ready to go into that reflection mode. And you have given us a very good start and some thoughts to actually, take a little bit deeper. So you all have the paper, right? What we are suggesting is that you see the Vishnu here. You want to draw that in that paper in your own artistic form, right? Not exactly how you see on the stage. It could be a stick diagram, right? Or it could be whatever you like. And then you make those 4 ornaments. And for each ornament, you want to create a Swaman point, a self-respect point. That's your first action point, and then we'll go into deeper levels of each ornament. हिंदी में ट्रांसलेशन हो रहा है ना? आप लोगों को पता चला? Yeah. The conch shell, the discus, mace, and lotus flower. So you draw the Vishnu, that is you. You're drawing yourself, your future form. And then you're holding those 4 ornaments. And when you think of the discus, what self-respect point emerges in you? It's easy, right? No? How many of you understood what you have to do? How many of you understood what you have to do? Others didn't understand. Huh? So, for example, if you look at the mace, right? The mace is pointing downwards, na? And so this is my churning. I just did it. When I look at the mace, the swaman that emerges in me is that I am a victorious being. Because I'm not fighting anymore. I'm not in a mode of conflict, or I'm not putting my gada on my shoulder. हाँ, अब मुझे मारना है किसी को. Right? I'm already in the state of victory because it's pointing down. So when I look at it, it's like I am a victorious soul. So that's the Swaman point. समझ में आया? Is this clear now? Huh? हाँ. Vishnu draw करो पहले. Yeah, you draw the Vishnu. Na? Are you stuck with the Vishnu picture? Oh, that's so beautiful, huh? Yeah, if you don't want to draw Vishnu picture, just draw the 4 ornaments. But Vishnu picture also, you can draw a stick diagram, no? You know what a stick diagram is? Just एक circle draw करो, एक line draw करो, 2 lines ऐसे draw करो, 2 lines नीचे draw करो. हाँ? अच्छा नहीं दिखेगा? अरे Okay, do the ornaments. Draw नहीं करना है तो सिर्फ लिखो. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Drawing में बहुत time मत लगाओ. Draw मत करो. Draw वो अभी तक face ही draw कर रहे हैं. Drawing में don't हाँ see the stick diagram ऐसे draw करो. ये हम विष्णु कोई बात नहीं है. हाँ, forget the drawing. Keep thinking what self-respect emerges when I look at the 4 ornaments. ड्राइंग छोड़ दो, अभी तक फेस ही ड्रॉ कर रहे हैं. Nobody is watching you, okay? Nobody is going to look at your drawing unless you tell. लिखा नहीं? अच्छा, ड्राइंग में बहुत टाइम नहीं लगाना है. डोंट पुट टू मच टाइम इन ड्राइंग. The important aspect is when I think of the maze, what is the self-respect? When I think of the flower, the lotus, what is the self-respect? You know? हो गया? कुछ शेयर करना चाहते हैं? नहीं, मुझे दिख नहीं रहा है यहाँ से. हाँ, ये भी ठीक है. Yeah, this is good. But I can't read. नहीं, आपने क्या लिखा है? शंख. I am happy. Okay. हाँ, I am pure. ये क्या है? शक्ति है. ओके, यस, वेरी गुड. सत्यता है. बिल्कुल. हाँ, परफेक्ट. लिखा? बोलना चाहेंगे?
हिंदी में बोल. हिंदी में चलेगा. हेलो, मैं विष्णु हूँ, उसका स्वरूप हूँ, और मेरे में जो सामने पिक्चर में अलंकार दिखाए हैं उनका सिग्निफिकेंस ये है कि मैं स्वदर्शन चक्रधारी हूँ. ये चक्र से है, शंख से है, मैं ज्ञान स्वरूप आत्मा हूँ. गदा से है, मैं विघ्न विनाशक आत्मा हूँ, मैं विजयी आत्मा हूँ, कल्प कल्प का विजयी हूँ. पुष्प से है, मैं कमल पुष्प समान पवित्र आत्मा हूँ, और सिर के ऊपर जो ताज लगा हुआ है, मैं डबल ताजधारी आत्मा हूँ, और गले में जो हार है, मैं बाबा के गले का हार हूँ. ओम शांति.
ओके, वेरी गुड. हाँ, बजा सकते हैं, ताली बजा सकते हैं. अच्छा है, हमारे लिए एक्सरसाइज है, सबके लिए नहीं. मुझे और नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पूछना है अभी. तो समझ में आया? Enough time you all had, right? I can move to the next question. Yeah. So now Sister Kala actually explained to us about the different ornaments, and she was saying that the discus helps us to remove the negativity. Na? The discus helps us to constantly have positive thoughts, positive feelings, very high vision for our kids and things like that. So the question is, what mental habit or habits or limiting beliefs do I need to cut through to grow? What mental habits? What mental habits, आप लिख सकते हैं, what mental habits or limiting beliefs do I need to cut through to grow? Discuss use करते हैं. The discuss is used to cut, right? Cut the negativity. So what is that still remaining inside of me? It could be in the form of a mental habit, or it could be in the form of a belief system that I'm still holding on to. And that is actually not helping me to grow. That is not helping me to grow. Yeah? Easy? Understood question? The question is, आपको रिफ्लेक्ट करके बताना है कि अभी मेरे अंदर ऐसी कौन सी आदत है या कोई ऐसी बिलीफ सिस्टम है जो मुझे आगे बढ़ने नहीं दे रही है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एक बिलीफ ब्राह्मणों में जो बहुत कॉमनली दिखाई देती है, हम तो अभी अभी आए हैं सिस्टर, हम क्या कर सकते हैं, हम तो पुरुषार्थी हैं, हम क्या कर सकते हैं, हाँ, हमसे आगे कितने हैं, हम कहाँ बनेंगे लक्ष्मी नारायण. सो दिस इज़ एन ओल्ड बिलीफ, दिस इज़ नॉट वेरी गुड बिलीफ. तो अब इसको, ये मेरे रास्ते की रुकावट है अगर मैं ऐसा सोच रही हूँ तो. I have to speak in English. When I look at Hindi people, automatically. But what I was giving an example is that, for example, sometimes there is a belief that doesn't allow me to grow. And one of the beliefs that I've commonly encountered and heard from people is that they will come and say, oh, I am just new in knowledge. I'm an effort maker. How can I become Lakshmi and Narayan? There are so many BKs who have come before me. I am so new. I don't think I can do that. So this is a belief, no? This is a wrong thought. And it's an obstacle for me to move forward. If I remove this belief, am I stoppable? Can anything stop me? Has Baba told me that if you come in 2020, you cannot go forward? Any Murli says that if you come in 2019, you will not become golden aged soul? Any Murli you have heard? So how did I put that thought in my head? That I have just come now, I don't know if I can go. So I gave you one example. Like this, you have to reflect sincerely and honestly, look inside and ask, what is it that is stopping my growth? I have to cut that belief or that habit. There can be a habit also, no? Like, for example, there is a habit some people have that, for me, when I get up is Amrit Vela. Right? No, she's laughing. No, but isn't it true? Some Brahmins also think like that. When I get up, that is Amrit Vela for me. So that means this is not a, this is a mental habit that I have built inside, that I cannot get up early. There is one brother who told me, sister, I need 8 hours of sleep, no matter what. I cannot get up at Amrit Vela. Now he's already created that strong thought. How it is going to change? It will never change. So I'm asking you to reflect on your own personal thought now. जो सुना है वो नहीं. अभी, now you have to think personally, what is inside me, that habit or that belief that is stopping me. If you can't find anything, then just congratulate yourself. You will become perfect. You want to say something? Yeah. Yes. One habit of me is like, oh, you want to share? Yeah, are you sure you want to share? Okay. Then only I will not change that. Okay.
If I will confess in front of everybody, then only I will able to change it,
that's
right?
very good.
So I am satisfied with being in a praja and not aiming for number 1 or 2.
That is your belief. That is your belief, right?
Yeah. Not belief, but I have to aim for, I have to aim for number 1 or 2, but I am satisfied. Okay, agar praja mein bhi aage 9 lakh mein, that is good.
तो वही ये belief है ना आपका. अब आप इसको change करोगे?
Yeah.
Very good. Everyone clap for her. Very nice. This is very true. Very good example actually. है ना? Yeah, there are actually some BKs who tell me, I don't care about being a king. I'm fine being in the praja. सत्युग में आगे बस हो गया. Right? So that is true. Very nice. Thank you for sharing. Anyone feels inspired to share? You want to share? But we will take only one or two, okay?
Hello, Om Shanti. I put as a goal that develop mental habits or develop skills or atmosphere, internal atmosphere to get rid of all negative thoughts in my life. That I put as a goal. Am I correct? That's what I'm. Then I said that always say to yourself, I am a soul just like everybody else.
No, you have to find limiting belief. जो आपको stop कर रहा है, वो ढूंढना है.
Then delete.
You find something that is stopping you. Are you understanding? It's not that difficult, no?
The one thing is stopping, not actually one, multiple. Consistency, discipline, and questioning, basically. Like when you're listening something, instead of just believing it, sometimes you don't believe and start questioning. That is stopping me.
How Baba doesn't know how bad I am. I don't know how Baba thinks I'm so good. This is a big thing that people have. Okay, I'm going to move forward. Where did I keep my... Yeah? Is this time enough? Okay. So then conch shell, Sister Kala was saying, it's the power of my words. It's the power of my mental capacity and good wishes. So the question is, am I speaking and living my own truth authentically? Am I speaking and living my own truth authentically? Am I speaking and living my own truth authentically? You understand the question? Yeah? माना क्या जो मैं अपने आप को देखती हूँ, जैसे मैं हूँ, जो हूँ, मैं वैसे ही बात करती हूँ, वैसे ही जीती हूँ, या बाहर कुछ और चल रहा है, अंदर कुछ और चल रहा है, दूसरे दुनिया वालों के सामने कुछ और है, अंदर कुछ और है, nobody should know I am a BK. कई ब्राह्मण ऐसे बोलते हैं, my family should not know I am a BK. So that means there is a duality, little bit. है ना? युक्ति युक्त होना अलग बात है, लेकिन to live how you want to live authentically, to speak what you want to speak authentically is very important. So ask yourself, am I speaking my life authentically? And then if you want to bring a solution to it, you can. If the answer is no, then you can try to bring a solution, how I can bring authenticity in my speech and in my living. Sometimes I might say to 10 people, oh, you should get up at Amrit Vela. You should get up at Amrit Vela. Amrit Vela is very magical, but I am only not getting up. So that is not authentic speaking and authentic living, right? And like that, there can be many things that we do. So I have to check that and correct it. Bring a solution to that point.
Hello, Om Shanti. Sometimes I say I'm very frank myself and I speak whatever is in my mind. And sometimes I feel that I shouldn't do that because other people may mind. After that, I realize.
That is correct. That is correct. You shouldn't be very frank. That sister had asked question, no? Balancing the virtues. So in the name of honesty, I don't have a right to hurt someone. If I say honestly, oh, ऐसा कैसा चश्मा पहना है? ये क्या है? मुझे अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, उनको तो अच्छा लग रहा है ना? No, I'm just giving you a very gross example. But in the name of honesty or frankness or straightforwardness, Baba didn't say you can give sorrow to others or hurt others, right? So sometimes it is good to not do. You are having good realization. So keep that realization. It is correct. But being frank doesn't, or not being very frank doesn't mean you're being dishonest. It is not being dishonest, right? It's like angels don't reveal everything, right? But they carry secrets. You know that, right? So that means angels are not speaking truth. That is not the case, right? So if you feel that my frankness and my straightforwardness is hurting this person, is not liked by this person, then you can avoid that. Okay, this question is okay. Shall we move forward? Yeah? I have 2 more questions. So then mace, Sister Kala said, mace is power of good actions. It's the power of good actions where Baba then uses me as a showpiece, right? It's the intent is very pure in that. So my question is, where do I need to draw upon? Where do I need to draw upon my inner strength and resilience? If there is any area in your life which is little bit problem, little bit not 100% how you want it to be, so that is the area, that is where you need to draw upon your inner strength and resilience, right? So you identify that area. It could be any area, but find that area. Where do I need to draw upon my inner strength and resilience? कौन सी ऐसी लाइफ में बात हो रही है जहाँ पर आपको लगता है आपकी अंदर की शक्ति को आपको यूज़ करना है? अभी जैसे चल रहा है वैसे नहीं चल सकता है, मुझे इसको बदलना है. कैसे बदलेंगे? अंदर की शक्ति से बदलेंगे. चाहे वो पावर ऑफ गुड विशेस है, चाहे वो पावर ऑफ गुड एक्शंस है, जो भी है, लेकिन आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है वो चीज़ अपनी लाइफ में जहाँ आपको शक्ति की आवश्यकता है. Yeah, where do I need to draw upon my inner strength and resilience? Okay. Shall I move forward? Last question. How can I remain? So, lotus, she said lotus, and lotus, she said, is meaningful relationships with people, right? So, how can I remain grounded? How can I remain grounded and pure hearted? How can I remain grounded and pure hearted in challenging environments? Because lotus flower keeps blooming beautifully in muddy water, right? So, भले मेरे आसपास अच्छा नहीं है, ठीक नहीं है, शायद जिनसे मेरा कनेक्शन है वो भी ठीक नहीं है, but how can I, even though I'm living in that environment, how can I remain pure-hearted? How can I remain untouched by that? You have to think. So basically, what specialities of the lotus flower can you emerge so that no matter what, you remain undisturbed, uninfluenced in any given situation? Hmm? Sorry?
To apply Baba's Gyan and give seconds to everybody else. That's Shubha Bhavana, Shubha Kamna.
Yeah. Hmm?
You are saying in challenging environment we should remain uninfluencing. Yeah, we should remain uninfluencing, but it is possible in real life if they are repeating so many times. You are trying to live like a lotus, but it is not possible. In that situation, what should we do?
This is a mental belief that they will never change. है ना? बाबा की ऐसी बहुत सारी, there are many murlis in which Baba has said that no matter, he has used these words, no matter what they are doing, it doesn't give you permission to then not be who you want to be. You understood? No matter what they are doing, कोई कितना भी बुरा कर रहा है, कुछ भी कर रहा है, गलत कर रहा है, बार बार कर रहा है, 100 बार कर रहा है, लेकिन वो मुझे परमिशन नहीं मिल जाती है कि मैं भी अपना धर्म छोड़ दूं. मेरा धर्म क्या है? मुझे कमल फूल समान रहना है. अब अगर मैंने मेरी पीस छोड़ दी, मैंने मेरी हैप्पीनेस छोड़ दी, मैंने मेरी डिग्निटी छोड़ दी, तो मैंने अपना स्वधर्म छोड़ दिया उसकी वजह से. पर कभी बाबा ने ऐसे कहा है कि दूसरों की वजह से अपना स्वधर्म छोड़ दो? और कोई मुरली में बाबा ने कहा है नंबर कि 10 चैलेंज आने के बाद आप पीसलेस हो सकते हो? कहा है किसी मुरली में कि 50 बार किसी ने आपको ये शब्द बोला, उसके बाद आप उसको बोल दो 10 शब्द? कहा है? कोई नंबर किसी मुरली में बाबा ने दिया है कि वो कितनी बार करे या नहीं करेगा? वो तो अपना काम कर रहा है, उसका पार्ट ही है. तो उस टाइम पे मुझे ज्ञान यूज करना चाहिए, ज्ञान यूज करना चाहिए. बाबा ने कहा है तो मैं बाबा के लिए कर रही हूँ. मैं क्यों कर रही हूँ? क्योंकि बाबा ने कहा है. मैं शांत क्यों हूँ? आपने कहा है ना, इसलिए मैं शांत हूँ. Like sometimes I tell him, why do I get up at 4 o'clock? I was never a 4 o'clock person. And then I tell him sometimes, because of you I'm doing this. Because of you I'm getting up at 4 o'clock. So उसको जताओ कि उसके लिए कर रहे हो. हाँ, और बाबा को जताना पड़ता है कभी कभी कि हम आपके लिए कर रहे हैं. वो कितना जताता है? वो कितना जताता है, मैं परमधाम छोड़कर आया हूँ तुम्हारे लिए. अरे हमने थोड़ी बोला आपको परमधाम छोड़कर आने के लिए, बट बोलता है ना. हाँ, बट आई एम जस्ट सेइंग कि वो अपने बारे में कितना बोलता है, तो हम भी थोड़ा अपने बारे में बोल ले कि बाबा आपकी वजह से इतना सहन कर रही हूँ. आप नहीं बोलते ना तो इसको मैं 2 बात सुना देती अभी, लेकिन मैं सहन कर रही हूँ क्योंकि आपने बोला है. तो कभी कभी just to feel good, I'm doing this for Baba, I'm not doing this for a person, I'm not doing this for this one. It makes me feel light. It will make you feel light, and it will make you feel love. You're doing this for Baba, you're doing this for God. So that is another feeling. ठीक है? हाँ हाँ, आई नो, मैं ऐसे ही मजाक के लिए बोल रही हूँ. ऑफ कोर्स उसको कभी हम उसके सामने तो जीत ही नहीं सकते हैं, चाहे कितने तर्क लगा ले, लेकिन फिर भी कहने में क्या जाता है. माँ बाप को बच्चे बोलते ही है ना कभी कभी. ऑल राइट, सो थैंक यू एवरीवन, होप यू एंजॉयड, है ना. तो अपने ये 4 अलंकारों को सदा स्मृति में रखना है कि हम विष्णु है, बैलेंस्ड लाइफस्टाइल जी रहे हैं. ओके, ओम शांति.